Hey Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, welcome back to the show. My name is Talia. I'm really excited to be here today. Can you hear my smile? Holy man. I've just had the best day and I love podcasting. So I'm just in my zone right now, but I've just had the best day. It's sunshiny and kind of windy, so it's not too hot. It's a beautiful day. And just a little quick manifestation story before we get into today's content. When we manifest, the thing that we wanted already existed. It's already, especially if it's been something you've been wanting for a while, it's already about 90% of the way into your life. And the rest of it is just unlocking these key parts, receiving, allowing it in, getting aligned. But sometimes we have something that we want and it's been right under our nose the whole time, but it was when we allowed it in that it popped through, right? So here's an example. So I've been thinking to myself, okay, so I have a baby, he's just about a year. And so the last year has been a whirlwind. I also have two other kids. So mom of three over here, been living in fuzzy hair and comfy pants for what feels like a year. And now that it's summer, now that the weather's warm, I was just getting this craving to like switch up not necessarily my style, but get some nice dresses, get a cute skirt or a jumpsuit or I don't know, something. And I kept thinking about it and thinking, oh no, I don't know if I should spend my money on me. It's so funny how we do that, right? And I kept finding these reasons to not go out and treat myself. And then finally the other day I said to my husband, I'm like, okay, I really want to go out and buy like a nice new dress or something summery and just celebrate like how amazing I am. And, I've survived a year with a baby. And I was saying that to my husband. He's like, yeah, go for it, girl. Have fun, love you, do it up. And at that moment, because I finally said to him, I'm going to go do this. So I kind of admitted I made it a thing. And right at that moment, I remembered that I had some gift certificates from my birthday and from Christmas. My birthday's in November, of course, Christmas in December, that I hadn't used. So I go upstairs and look, and there's over $200 of gift certificates to this one store that normally I don't really shop at, but it is so great this time of year. So many beautiful tank tops and dresses and all the things. So all of a sudden it was like, oh my goodness, I wanted to do it. I finally allowed myself to do it. And here you go. Here's over $200 to just go spend. So today I decided was my day. I said to my husband, it's my work day. So that's a breakthrough in itself. There's always 100 things to do on a work day. But I said, no, I'm going to go out and do something for me. So I said to my husband, I'm going shopping. And because of the virus, I haven't been out in months. I haven't shopped in probably a year or more. So I went out and I wore my cute mask and I, did it up, and I ended up spending the gift certificate. And then I even got a couple little things for my kids because I just love buying clothes for my kids. I don't know any of you moms out there if you agree, but yeah, so I just did that this morning and it felt so good to just take my time. And then I treated myself to sushi. I got a cucumber roll and it's one of my favorites. Again, haven't eaten out in forever. And I had to, sit in my car, but it was really nice because the windows were open and I was looking outside and it was just nice. And just had a little me time. So now I'm in my office. I'm feeling refreshed and excited. Self-care just pumps you up. I definitely, I need self-care. I often put it aside, but it is so important. So hopefully you can relate to that. And hopefully that's a little nudge for you to do something nice to yourself and watch the universe support you and know that that's what you're meant to do, is take care of yourself and, allow yourself nice things and to feel good ultimately, right? Okay, so I did not plan on that little pre-rant, but Here we are. Today we are talking about pillar 2 in my manifestation method. It's called the Awaken Manifestation Method. Basically all it is, it's a fancy name, but what it is I really nailed down the process of manifestation. I've been studying it for over a decade, and all the gurus, my main mentors, Abraham, Wayne Dyer, Gabby Bernstein, talking about manifestation, Mike Dooley as well. And I've put it all together my style. So I've been doing this with clients and of course with myself, and this is the method. This is how manifestation works. So the 2 episodes ago, we went over the 6 pillars of manifestation, where I briefly took you through each of the pillars that you really, really need to understand, take in, and practice. All of them. It's for all of us. There's different months where maybe we're working on receiving, and other months we're working on being guided intuitively, and others it's just figuring out what the heck we want, right? So this is a process that you can visit over and over again, and you can listen to these episodes over and over again. So we went over the 6 pillars 2 episodes ago, and then the last episode was pillar 1, which is understanding the law of attraction, really getting it, understanding it's not just some mystery. Like a lot of people look at it like it's some big mystery, but it's actually very simple. When you understand it, then you can know what to practice, right? And you know what areas you need to work on or shift or release or whatever. So that's what we did the last episode. It was lots of fun. Make sure to tune into that if you haven't already. And today is pillar 2, and we're talking about what I call launching desires. But this is really just about being able to be calling in what you want, right? You think the intention of launching a desire or praying or calling in or putting it out there, however you want to say it, the intention is to bring in something you want, right? It might be cash, it might be a lover, it might be a puppy, it might be a new iPad. And we want to make sure that we are launching desires for things that we want and avoiding calling in things that we don't want. So there's definitely 2 sides to this. And then even within calling in what we want, there's a couple different aspects that we really need to go through that you need to understand in order to truly unlock manifestation and just like activate your power, right? So launching desires is what we're talking about today. My intention for you in this episode is for you to be able to call in what it is that you want. And as I mentioned, not or stop calling in things you don't want, whether it's patterns or, debt or whatever, how to kind of ease that and stop doing that and bring in more of what we do want. And then how to start that process right now. Because I'm all about the huge concepts. I'm always, pondering. I'm in the stars, that's for sure. I'm all for that. I'm all for a great ponder, but I'm also really about bringing things into your life, creating new habits, routines, mindsets, and really getting those results now, right? So that's my intention for you today, is to sort of activate law of attraction in a way that is really serving you, easing the things that aren't serving you, and giving you some things that you can do now. Before I really understood this about launching desires and not launching desires for things I don't want, we'll get to that. Before I understood this, I got really, really mixed results. So there would be some kind of wins, some little things that would happen, but overall the tone was really meh. So I'd sometimes be making more money, but I wouldn't be really getting ahead in debt, or the debt would be still creeping up because some big payment had to happen or whatever. It was I never really got ahead. You know what I mean? It's you're getting some results, but not massive results. And this it can be because of this pillar. So I had this mainly with money, was definitely something. A few years ago, I was starting my business and I was full throttle. I left my job and I was like, I'm going to make it on my own. And then it's like, I can't make it on my own. And I wasn't making enough to, scrape by basically, but we did it. We figured it out and now we're here. But that's what was happening with money, is I would get a few things that would be a win or a new client or something that would be really great. But then it would be but then the bills would pile up, or I had to pay my coach twice to get for one payment from my client. So I was actually losing money, you know what I mean? So it was I was never really getting ahead. But once I understood what I'm going to teach you today, that really changed. So the biggest thing I want to start with, it's really important, and I want you to just like let this in. And even if you go like, oh, I know this, still just open up your heart, allow this in. Everything you focus on is considered a desire to the universe. And this isn't because the universe is manipulative or tricky or mean. It's because we live in an attraction-based universe. There only is attracting. Said another way, the universe is always saying yes to what you're putting out and showing you more of the same. So if you're saying, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, the universe is unfortunately saying yes, and here's more to make you feel that way. So situations will come up where you're triggered, or you don't know the answer to something, and it triggers those wounds because you've spent so much time in the story of I'm not smart enough. So you attract more things and situations where you don't feel smart enough. We live in an attraction-based universe. So everything you focus on, you are attracting to you. I know that can seem intimidating, and I really want you to understand, and I really want to be clear and be your partner on this, that you are allowed to have bad days. You are allowed to have moments where you're freaking the fuck out. You're allowed to have moments where you break down. But it's about reframing it and getting back into a place of feeling good when possible. Okay, that's kind of a side note. It's not really about launching desires, but it is about understanding that you're always attracting. The reason I made a point to say that is there was a while when I was really getting into law of attraction that I wouldn't allow myself to have any negative thoughts or get down at all. I'd be really hard on myself, which now I can laugh and go, well, if you're being hard on yourself, it's not like you're positive or kind, right? But I would be really worried about anything negative or any comparison. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm messing it up. I'm going to attract disease. Or like, I'd just get really worried. It's not like that. But you are always attracting. So where do you want to spend more time and what do you want to focus on? And know that you can get back to feeling good when you get thrown off. And it's okay to freak out, to have doubts, to have fears. Okay. Just wanted to make sure to say that. So back to launching desires. Everything you focus on is considered a desire. So this is why, another reason why we become so careful with what we are focusing on and what we are calling in. So for example, if you are saying to yourself and to other people and to your husband or your wife or your, banker, you're saying, I got to get out of debt. This debt is killing me. This debt is killing me. I don't know how I'm going to get out of debt. I have $20,000 in debt. I have credit cards and I have debt. You're coming from a place of wanting to get out of debt. Definitely, that's clear. There's no doubt about that. But focusing on the debt. So instead, what we need to do is we need to launch desires in the direction of abundance, of freedom, of ease, of those things, the reason really why you don't want the debt, right? You want to feel easy breezy. You want to feel light and abundant and free. So that's the direction you need to focus. So this is why often we think we're launching a desire for something we want, but we're actually focusing on the negative aspect of it. Another example is often people will want to lose weight, but deep down they want to lose weight because they're fat, or they want to lose weight because that would make them worthy or good enough or get someone's approval, or it's the way they should look. It's the way that, you think you're not enough showing up online or in your business or in your life. So you need to lose weight. Well, that's actually focusing on the negative aspect. We want to lose weight because we want to be in optimal health. We want to be connected to our body. We want to feel fit and mobile and agile and healthy, right? That's the aspect to focus on. So you got to be careful in the way that you're launching desires. Now I'm going to give you an exercise that you can do to make sure that you're calling in what it is that you want in the positive aspect, to make sure you're not accidentally focusing on the negative and calling in more of what you don't want. So you can do this in a journal. You can do this along with me right now. You can spend time later on your own, really, diving deep, because like with all this work, the deeper you go, the more results you're going to get. So you spend 5 minutes, you'll get definitely some results. You spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you journal it out for half an hour, you're going to feel some profound clarity come forward, which amps up your attraction power. So first, what we're going to do is get clear on what it is that you want. And just allow yourself to see in your mind's eye or write out or think of or feel what it's going to be like in whatever you deem to be your best life. Is it travel? Is it a certain state of energy and health in your body and your bank account and your family? And just really explore what it is that you want. So right now we're doing a very general one to just generally attract the life you want. If you're getting really specific and you're calling in something really specific, then you can get more specific on what it is you want. You could say like airfare to that trip to Costa Rica if that's what you're going for. Otherwise, what we're doing right now is just making sure that in general, you're constantly attracting the things that you want, which is ultimately the most magical life. So you get clear on what it is that you want. And then what I like to do is, instead of continuing to focus on the specifics, I want you to focus on the feelings. So for example, instead of focusing on the beach house has to be in Hawaii, it has to be on Maui, it has to be on the north part of the island, it has to be at least 20 acres, it has to, you know what I mean? So instead of getting really specific like that, if you put down dream home, just go to like, what is it gonna feel like? What do you see in your mind's eye? Is it trees outside or maybe a beach outside, open concept kitchen? You feel at ease, there's people gathering, you're cooking, or you have someone else cooking for you. Your bedrooms, maybe there's just lots of wood around. Like, get specific in a way that lights you up, but isn't so attached that you pinch off possibility. And I'm gonna get more into that in a minute. You want to be jazzed by what you see in your mind's eye or what you're writing in your journal or what you're feeling into, but not like it has to have 5 bedrooms and the ceilings have to be exactly 9 feet. Because what's happening when you're doing this, when you're dreaming or you're writing or you're getting really excited, you're attracting in that moment those feelings, those emotions, those details. You're attracting it in that moment. And when you get too specific, you start pinching off what the universe is trying to bring you, because the universe is bringing you always what you're asking for and more. It's always bringing you that and something better. This and something better. And so when you get too specific, like it has to be Maui, or it has to be exactly $5,000, or he has to be 6'1", or he has to be Italian, or, I have to live in this city, you can get in the way with the bigger, better plan. So again, this is all about making sure that you're launching desires in a way that's really going to serve you and is going to attract you miracles fast. So we want to get clear on what you want, but then we want to get really clear on the emotions that you're going to feel. It's going to feel so free. And when you're traveling, it's going to feel so abundant and adventurous. And you're going to be, traveling with your best friend or your partner or alone. And you can feel your backpack on your back and all these experiences you're going to have, and, or what it's going to be like to be up on stage and serving people, but not on stage because it's my 4th book and it's called this and it went to #1. When you get too specific, it actually slows down the manifestation, because the universe has to like rearrange a whole bunch of things that were almost ready to come to you. But get clear on what you want, but not so clear that you pinch off possibility. And the second thing is a manifestation hack. It is a beautiful tool to use to manifest fast, shift your vibration, get you in alignment with what you want. It really does it all, and it's so simple. So it's saying yes to the things that you want, that you see in your life. So it becomes a game. And I'll actually call it, just within my own head, in my own space, I call it yesing all over the place. So what I do is you can do it sitting right in your room, or when you're driving around in your car, or out running errands, or if you're at a friend's house. Basically, all you're doing is you're looking around and saying yes in your mind to all the things you see that you want. So as I drive down my road, there's like $1 million homes, and I'm like, yep. I see a Jeep that I really want. I'm like, yep, that right there. Or in the grocery store, the most like top quality organic stuff. I'm like, yes. And whether I'm buying it or not isn't actually the focus. It's about noticing that what you want is right there. What you want is everywhere. So when you see, maybe you're single and you want to call in the one, you just see some handsome guy in line somewhere, or beautiful woman in line somewhere, and you just go, yep, something like that would be great. Yep, thank you. And you can do it to anything. I can sit right here in my office and go, yep, I love that dream catcher I have hanging there. And yep, I love my computer. And yep, I love that giant glass of water. Yep, I'll take that. It's just like saying yes to all the different aspects that you want more of in your life, that you want to call in. So you just get into the practice of saying yes to moments, saying yes to the things around you that you like. I'll be driving along the road going grocery shopping, and you go along the ocean where I am. And every time I come to a place where I can see out to the ocean, it's so beautiful. I'm like, yep, ocean view. Yep, love this. Yep, there's an eagle flying over me. That's part of my dream life. It's like cultivating your experience. This practice starts to, really what it ends up doing is you're launching desires all day for the things that you want. And I look at it like a vision board. This is so beautiful. I love this. I thought of it and it was just so perfect. It's like an energetic vision board, because in a traditional vision board, you go into magazines or, something like that. You're cutting out photos and words, and you're gluing them on a big piece of paper, all in a big collage. And that symbolizes and, brings together the energy of your dream life. So this is what you're doing in your day. You're going, yep, to this. You're going, yes, please, to that. You're going, a man like that would be great, or a home like that would be great, or better still, when you're in situations of joy, of laughter, of hugging, it's like, yep, that's part of my dream life, and yep, that's part of this. And, you can do it when it's happening in your own life, in your mind. You're going, yep, this is amazing, right? Little snippet on the vision board. Or you can do it, as I mentioned, you drive past something that you want, a husky, and you're like, yep, that's in my dream life. You can start to bring together an energetic vision board. And what this does is it aligns you with your dream life, because you're starting to be merged with the things that you want. You're focusing on the things you want way more than you're focusing on what you don't want. And so when you have negative thoughts come in, or you have stories of lack come in, it just doesn't hold much weight, because you're getting into the habit of going, yep, more of this, and yep, I'm enjoying this peace and quiet. I want more of that. And, you're really starting to bring in things that you want all the time. You're focusing on it. So that's a really beautiful tool that I use that's really powerful. And I call it yesing all day. You can call it whatever you want. Sometimes my names are not the most graceful, but I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot to yes. Like, I'm going to start yesing all day now. And just, really get into the habit of saying yes to what it is that you want. This was pillar number 2, which is launching desires. And in summary, you are always calling in something. We live in an attraction-based universe. It will never be anything other than that. You cannot push anything away. You can only attract. So instead of pushing away debt, you're attracting abundance. Instead of pushing away bad relationships, you want to bring in more beautiful humans into your experience. Instead of pushing away limiting beliefs and fears, we want to bring in confidence, bring in expansion, because there's only ever bringing in. The universe is saying yes to you. There's only attraction going on. So start to get clear on what it is that you want. Start to get clear on the feelings that you want to bring in of ease, of fun, of abundance, of confidence and flow, of being in center, being whole, being happy. And then start saying yes to everything and anything you see, you experience, you feel. Start saying yes to these things, making an energetic vision board and watching as you start attracting more and more and more things that fit your dream life, bigger and bigger miracles, bigger shifts, bigger transformations. Releasing what's not serving you, because focusing on what you want just feels so good. You won't need to focus on what you don't want anymore. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The next episode will be on Pillar 3, which is all about quantum alignment. Even if you have no idea what that means, you need to tune in. This is life-changing. If you're aware of quantum leaping, quantum alignment, quantum universe, then you know you're in for a treat. This is about the person that you are being and how to step into the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. So we're talking about quantum alignment, and this is actually the base of what this podcast is about. Stepping into that version of yourself so that you can manifest anything that you've been wanting. Hey love, thank you for listening to today's episode. I really hope you got some incredible value from it. And if you did, pretty please head over to iTunes and leave me a review and hit the subscribe button. This really does make a huge difference in the success of the show. And it really shows me that you want this type of training, tools, techniques to hack law of attraction and have you manifest fast. Thank you in advance for that. And before I go, I want to remind you that there is a version of yourself that already has what it is that you want, already has the manifestations, already has the love, the abundance, the success, the freedom, the self-confidence, and everything else that you could want. So what I'm going to encourage you to do today is to envision her, embody her, ask, what's her energy about? What's her mindset like? And what advice does she have for me today? As you do this, my love, you awaken her. You quantum align, you collapse time, and you make yourself able to manifest the life you want so much quicker. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode.